Listen up, man. Let's get right down to the business. You read the title. Celibacy is the key to break you free from spiritual slavery. God damn, man. That's some early morning bars up in this bitch. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Listen up, my guy. The practice of celibacy is the key to break you free from spiritual slavery. And you might be wondering, okay, man, what the fuck does that even mean, my guy? How does celibacy correlate to breaking me free from spiritual slavery? Am I stuck in jail? Am I in handcuffs? Am I still fighting a case? Well, relax, my guy. I'm gonna need you to just take a deep breath because it's time for your boy to break this bitch down real quick like a brick for y'all. So first things first, what you must come to understand along this journey of celibacy, of practicing semen retention, is that this is a tool, a discipline that helps you disintegrate and dissolve karmas that are keeping your consciousness stuck at its lowest states of existence. This is what it was actually meant to do from the start. This is the ancient wisdom that has been given to us from the past that helps us understand, better yet understand, what this whole practice is all about. Contrary to what you might see online from other content creators, YouTubers, or whatever. This practice is about mastering the self in order to ascend and elevate your state of consciousness. It's not about the benefits. It's not about the female attraction. It's not about magnetism. It's not about your aura. It's not about any of that external shit. It's about the internal shift of turning your base metals into gold. Your base metals are your base levels of consciousness, turning that all the way up to your states of spiritual gold, spiritual illumination, the higher faculties. This is what this practice was preordained to do from the start. So hopefully you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down. That's the main goal of practicing celibacy. That's the main reason we practice semen retention. All the other stuff is a bonus. Great, that's awesome. You get the aura, you get the confidence, you get this and that, that's great. This journey is about cleansing and purifying your karmas in order for you to help discover your dharma. What does that mean? What does discovering your dharma mean? If you don't know, your dharma means your destiny, what you were brought here to do, why you were incarnated in this body, within this time period, with all these specific gifts and unique talents that you have. That is your dharma. That is predestined. That is already embedded into your DNA. Yet, in the times that we are living in, that they call Kali Yuga on the Vedic traditions, where spiritual decay is at an all-time high. Your consciousness is operating at its lowest states. It's rooted in its lower impulses. Through the carnal mind, it's only thinking about the three lower level pleasures of survival, sex, and status. In that time period that we are living in right now today, us as men have started to lose sight of our dharma, have started to lose sight of our destiny. And no amount of survival, sex, or status, no amount of external things can ever satisfy our soul, can ever satisfy what we were really brought here to do. It will never fulfill us. It will never lead to a life of liberation. Because no amount of, again, cars, money, clothes, and hoes, whatever you want to call it, is ever going to truly give you eternal bliss. It might give you temporary spikes of dopamine, temporary pleasures, but it's never going to give you true bliss. And this is due to the fact that, again, your state of consciousness is rooted at its base levels. And this is why the Maya, the matrix, the illusion, the material world is going to keep continually propagating and promoting things that are keeping you stuck in your carnal mind and things that make you a consumer. Consumerism and carnality. We have a full video about that here are the two engines that keeps the cycle of samsara, aka the cycle of reincarnation, running. But when you practice celibacy, when you practice semen retention for what it really is meant to do, you start to break chains that are holding your consciousness down at its lower level states. You see, your sexual energy is the most potent force of prana that you have access to as a man. The most potent force of prana, the most potent force of energy. Let that marinate in your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche. It is the reason that you're here. It's the reason that I'm here. It's the reason these trees, these animals, all that shit is here. Sexual energy. It is a cosmic force of creation. When that is squandered away on meaningless pursuits, on nonsensical pleasures, on your lower level animalistic instincts. Look at my dog right there. When it's wasted on that, you become like a dog. You start to descend, spiritually speaking, towards the realms of an animal, towards the realms of the beast. And you get stuck there. And then what does a beast think about? What does a dog always think about? Survival, sex, and status. That's the only thing that they think about, and that's the only thing that they're pursuing. But you came here as a motherfucking human being. A human being. And you're telling me that's all you were really brought here to do? Pursue sex, pursue survival, and pursue status. If that was the case, I'm telling you right now, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is a lot smarter than you. You would have came here as an animal to fulfill that duty, to fulfill that dharma, to fulfill that destiny. But that's not the case. You were brought here for something bigger, something more grand in the divine plan. There's a blueprint for you to attain states of bliss that no external achievement, no external emotion could ever suffice to. This is divine nectar. This is spiritual ecstasy that you may be tasted through things like psychedelics, through meditation. But what if I told you that you can be living in that state? However, in order for you to live in that state, you must start to dissolve your karmas and discover your dharma. And one of the biggest karmic ties that we have as men in today's day and age is the compulsive need for sexual stimulation. Let that really marinate in your mind. One of the biggest karmic ties that you have as a man in today's day and age is the compulsive need for sexual stimulation. Because it's so powerful. An orgasm is so powerful that it can create another human being. So of course, when you constantly keep depleting yourself of that energy, just keep hitting that button, orgasm, 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 you start to lose that life force in you. That's why pornography is free. That's why hookup culture is so pushed on us. Because they know, the matrix, the Maya, the illusion, whatever you want to call them, they know that a man who is depleted of that life force energy just becomes a drone, becomes a zombie. And yes, they might be successful. I'm not saying, oh man, they're all losers. There's millionaires that are fucking coomers. There are billionaires who are sex addicts. But guess what? No amount of cars that they have, no amount of fancy clothes, no amount of girls that they mess with ever satisfies their soul. Because that is not their dharma. They were not here to just do that. If they were an animal, yes, that would have been the ultimate peak of their existence. That's why they need more and more and more and more. They need more stimulation because they're never going to find satisfaction. Let me say that again. They will always need more stimulation because they have never found true satisfaction. Because true satisfaction, true bliss is not external. It's a state of existence that's only achieved when you're walking in alignment or in union or in yoga with your higher self. Because your higher self knows what is brought here for. Yet your connection, your phone line to your higher self has been cut off. How has it been cut off? By karmas. Are you picking up what the fuck I'm putting down? I'm talking about sexual karmas. I'm talking about past life karmas. I'm talking about all that type of stuff, man. But what we're talking about in this video is specifically your sexual karma. In order for you to break free from the spiritual slavery where you are living life as a drone, where you're living life as an NPC, where you're living life not in alignment to your true purpose, just chasing after this, chasing after that, you must overcome these karmic ties. You must overcome these karmic chains. And it's not easy, because the more and more and more and more you indulged in these compulsive acts, the stronger that tie gets. Instead of a string, instead of like floss, it turns into barbed wire. Instead of barbed wire, it turns into a fucking full metal chain. It's hard to cut through a metal chain, ain't it? It's hard to cut through barbed wire, ain't it? But it's easy to cut through the floss. So the quicker you understand this, better yet, understand this, the quicker you're going to be able to cut through the BS. And the more that you cut through the BS, the closer you get to that phone line reconnecting back with your higher self. You can start to hear the voice of God working through you, guiding you towards glory, guiding you towards the gateway back to the absolute, where you're living life in alignment to your true purpose. Yet that is not ever achievable for a man who is still ruled by his senses, who is still a slave to his senses. If his spirit is not the one in the driver's seat, but it's the programming of society, you're never going to reach the end destination of realizing your dharma, realizing who and what you are beyond the brain and body, realizing what you were really brought here for beyond just satisfying the senses. You'll never realize that, and you'll always be looking externally for an answer, externally for a reason, externally for a purpose. In this material world, the dark age that we're living in right now will take full fucking advantage of that. We'll warp it to cause you chaos in your life, havoc in your life. And externally, again, you might be fine, but internally, there's a void that no amount of material achievements, emotional states of ecstasy can ever fill. Your soul is craving for something deeper, man. Something deeper, something bigger, something better. And that pull towards something greater, something bigger, something deeper is why you must be willing to sacrifice these lower level pleasures, even though they might be comfortable, even though they might be feel good for the time being. You must be willing to sacrifice that to get something way better. You're sacrificing on the front end, but I promise you on the back end, you'll get something way better. This is what this journey of self-mastery is all about. You're giving away the BS that's blocking you from the thing that you've always wanted. A lot of people think that, oh man, I'm gonna have FOMO from not being able to watch porn or just go hook up with random girls. I wanna have sex, I wanna do this. Cool, nothing's bad about that stuff. But I'm telling you, do you want the easy, accessible dopamine, or do you want something that you have to work for? However, it's gonna make you feel 10, 100 times, million times better. This is divine nectar and this is dopamine. It's up to you. Do you want some fast food? It's right there, right in front of you. It doesn't cost much. Or would you rather save up for a 5-star meal? Every time that you choose a 5-star meal, you shave a little bit of that metal chain, cracking it, causing it to weaken. And that bond becomes less and less and less. And you start to take control more and more and more. This is an inverse equation. If one goes up, one goes down. If the other goes up, the other one goes down. The more that you start to overcome your compulsive nature, the more that your spirit starts to awaken and become alive. This is self-mastery in a nutshell. When you start to unlock the mind and purify the body, you start to awaken the soul. The more you keep just overall BSing your body, putting all this junk in it through these degenerate activities, the more that you pollute the mind through all this nonsense, the dimmer your soul becomes. That one illuminating spark that could have lit up a whole room now turns into a little small candle that's about to be extinguished. And a lot of people are living life with that soul spark almost completely extinguished. It's never going to be fully extinguished, but it's damn sure there. 99.9%. People are walking throughout life, mainly men, with zero connection to the higher self, zero connection to a higher power, zero connection to their higher faculties. Literally living life on the lower centers, on the lower chakras. They're living life in their dick and balls. That's all they care about, their stomach and dick and balls. What am I eating? What am I fucking? And what do people think of me? That's a pathetic life for anybody. But for you, if you're watching this video, that's a fucking pathetic life. This is what this practice is gonna help you overturn. Return back to who and what you were really meant to be. It's not an easy practice, but it slowly but surely shaves off the BS. And every time you break a chain on that link, every time you break a link on that chain, your consciousness can ascend up, and ascend up, and ascend up, and ascend up. And each time it ascends up, you achieve states of gnosis, aka you achieve and attain knowledge of the self, divine knowledge, divine wisdom that's literally embedded in your DNA that will help guide you to your Dharma. The room becomes clear, the room becomes brighter, the road becomes right in front of you. I don't know what your Dharma is, your dad doesn't know what your Dharma is, your mom doesn't know, your guru, whoever, they don't know what your Dharma is. You know your Dharma. Yet you are also the person that is accumulating the karmas that makes you confused about what that is. You might be listening to this right now and be like, damn man, no, that makes a lot of sense. But you go back and do all this degenerate BS. You go continue watching porn. You go continue on the hookup culture shit. You continue to pollute the mind. You continue to pollute the body. So you are your greatest enemy and your greatest ally along this journey towards ascending to your highest self, ascending back to the absolute. The more that this side of your mind, the angelic side of your mind, starts to take control, and the less your animalistic instincts are the one in charge, the closer and closer and closer you'll get to that realization of the Dharma. But if it's the opposite, the more that your animal instincts are controlling you, and the less your angelic mind can communicate to you, the closer and closer and closer you get to the depths of the abyss, because you're accumulating more and more and more karma that blocks out your Dharma. This is why celibacy is such a powerful, powerful, powerful practice for a true spiritual aspirant. We have a full video literally here on this channel that is titled How Celibacy is the Most Powerful Supplement for a True Spiritual Aspirant. Forget about all the other supplements that you take, this and that. If you're a true spiritual aspirant, if you practice celibacy, you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about is real deal information, real deal experiences that you will have a first-hand understanding of, better yet an understanding of, if you're willing to take that first step towards self-mastery instead of this self-improvement bullshit. We're done. You're done with nofap and even semen retention. I still use the words, but in my opinion, that's not a good word for this whole practice. True celibacy is doing this not out of the benefits that you get, but out of who you become at the end of the journey, which is becoming the person that you're always meant to be. You're not learning anything new on this path. I'm telling you right now, the spiritual path of no longer becoming a slave to your senses, you just return back to who and what you are always meant to be. You're not changing your identity. God damn, man, that's a bar. Write it down. You are becoming who and what you were always meant to be. This is why it's so powerful. This is why all the greatest saints, the sages, the sadhus, the holy men the people that ascended to higher states of consciousness, even the innovators, Leonardo da Vinci, Nikola Tesla, Isaac Newton, the people that really were the movers and the shakers of this world, talked about how chastity, celibacy, semen retention, and again, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is a prerequisite to be able to tap into the pinnacle states of their potential on their mental, physical, and spiritual planes. This again is what self-mastery is all about. If you truly want to see who and what you can truly become without self-sabotaging yourself. Imagine who and what you would become if you finally stopped BSing yourself. Imagine that. That vision that you have is at the end of this road to self-realization, is at the end of this ascent up the mountain of self-mastery, which celibacy is a huge part of. Again, all this stuff that we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, on the private Patreon community. Man, shout out to the fucking private Patreon community. Listen up, my guy. I mean, you need to just take a pause, a quick time out. Go find the closest mirror to you and really just go right in front of it and analyze the person that's staring right in front of you in that mirror. Really look into his eyes, really look into his soul. Once you get a nice mental picture of that guy that's staring right back at you in the mirror, I'm gonna need you to understand, listen up, that you're doing him, not me, that motherfucker that's looking right back at you in the mirror, a huge disfavor by not joining up into the private Patreon community yet. Because if you're a true spiritual aspirant, if you're a true man on this path of self-mastery, who wants to ascend on each and every single realm of reality, I'm talking about the mental, physical, and spiritual, and you have not joined up into the private Patreon community yet, man, you are BSing yourself. You are absolutely BSing yourself, and you are missing out, my guy. Because within there, we are truly uncovering the depths of this esoteric science of self-mastery with exclusive videos that go so much more in depth and so much more in detail than videos like this. So if you're liking this, man, imagine what the fuck we're cooking up over there. Imagine what the fuck we're cooking up over there, man. I'm talking about breaking down ancient texts. I'm talking about getting into the depths and the practices of how you can actually ascend to this peak potential on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes. I'm talking literally the exclusive videos that you ain't gonna find on this channel, on the main channel. Matter of fact, anywhere else on the internet, because it's some real deal game, real deal sauce to help you elevate on every motherfucking plane. You dig what I'm saying? And along with that, along with the exclusive videos, you get access to our full guides, the in-depth occult lectures, digital libraries, and most importantly, if you tap into the Philosopher's Circle, aka the highest membership tier group within the private Patreon community, you'll get access and an invitation to our private group chat where we host our bi-weekly Mastermind Live calls. Yes, sir, bi-weekly Mastermind Live calls each and every single month, bi-weekly, 2 times a month. Come on, man, are you picking up what I'm putting down? Where you hop on a call with me as well as a community of like-minded men who are also on this path of self-mastery. If you want to be surrounded with a circle of people that want to see you elevate and who want to see you liberate and who want to hold you accountable to this ascent, then I'm telling you, man, the Philosopher's Circle is a place for you. This is the power of a community. This is the power of being around people that are pushing you to elevate to your highest points. This is not something that you'll find out in the public where you're probably at. It's a true, rare individual who is willing to go on this path, this narrow road of self-mastery. So if you want to be surrounded with more people like that, like yourself, like me, then I'm telling you, man, tap in with the Philosopher's Circle. It is a place for you. I can assure you that, my boy. I can assure you that. But if you need any more information about the Philosopher's Circle or the private Patreon community as a whole, check out the links posted in the pinned comment of this video, because not only will you find the link to the private Patreon community, but also links to the other services I provide, whether it be application forms for my personalized coaching program, if you're trying to work with me personally, one-on-one, to help you disintegrate, dissolve, detach, and detox from all the degenerate bullshit that is accumulating you these karmas that are blocking your dharma, in order for you to actually ascend to your highest potential, your divine potential. If you're ready and willing to actually sacrifice and systemize a plan out to dissolve these karmas, detox from degeneracy, and discover your dharma, fill out an application form for the personalized coaching program. We'll see if your criteria meets the qualifications. I'm talking about if you're struggling with mental blocks, physical blocks, spiritual blocks, whatever it is, we will systemize a solution to get you on the righteous path, the right path to divine realization. If you're just trying to book a one-time consultation call with me to discuss anything that you're dealing with and help you get back on the right track towards that dharma, we got a booking link right there in the pinned comment of this video. We got weekly newsletters. We got a free community Discord server. All that good stuff, man. Again, post in the pinned comment of this video. Make sure you go run it up. But like I was saying, the stuff that we talk about on this channel, on the main channel, especially on the private Patreon community, especially within my personalized coaching program, is all about giving you back the power of your own consciousness. Giving your soul, your spirit, the sword of righteousness, the sword of sovereignty that allows you to slash all those karmic chains, slash all those bondages that are keeping your brain stuck in its lowest states. Because when you finally break free from that, there's nothing stopping you within the world, because now God is on your side. The wind is pushing on your back rather than against you. You are flowing with the stream rather than against the stream. If you truly want to achieve your highest potential, you cannot be pushing against the stream. You must be flowing with it. Because how you flow with it is how you start to live a life of true fulfillment. All this BS that's blocking you, man, you're attached to it. You're attached to pornography. You're attached to hookup culture. You're attached to all these things. And the Matrix, the Maya, the illusionary world, the material world, and Kali Yuga, the Dark Age, knows that. And it's using it against you. It's making your own body, making your own brain work against the soul. It should not work like that. There's a great quote from Osho that I always bring up. And he states, the mind can either be a beautiful servant or a horrible master. The mind can either be a beautiful servant or a horrible master. But let's break it down even more. The brain and body could either be a beautiful servant of the soul or a horrible master that enslaves it. Right now, when you're stuck in those states of survival, sex, and status, that's all you think about. Your brain and body are enslaving your soul. Your soul is connected on all these different planes, but I'm telling you, when you ascend up the chakras, ascend up the spine, ascend up to these higher states of consciousness, the phone line, the Wi-Fi connection to the soul, to the higher self, starts to get louder, and it finally can take the wheel and take control and guide you back to glory. When it's down low, all you hear about is survival, sex, and status. All you see about is survival, sex, and status that leads you to a life of despair, of the abyss. Most people don't give a shit. Most people, again, like I said, that spark that they have is so minuscule that it don't matter to them. They're living life completely in darkness and they don't give a fuck. And I'm talking about spiritual darkness. I'm not talking about, oh man, their life is so shit, this and that. It might be beautiful in the external, but internally, it does not mean anything because they're still not living in alignment. And guess what? On their deathbed, they're going to be thinking about why. They're going to be thinking about all those attachments. They're going to be thinking about, I need to do something better. And guess what? Their soul must reincarnate once again, but it's still carrying along the karmas that you built in this life. Make sure that this incarnation is your last. Make sure that this incarnation is your one-way ticket to motherfucking liberation. You don't want to spin around again on the cycle of samsara. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the video that we have on the main channel, The Philosopher, titled Escaping Samsara, the Cycle of Reincarnation. If you want more in-depth and in-detail stuff about that topic, that dense topic, I'm talking about a full occult lecture. It's found on the private Patreon community, talking about this way more in depth. But again, this is what celibacy and semen retention really does on a true spiritual level. Breaks you free from the cycle of samsara, breaks you free from spiritual slavery, because you're no longer attached to these things that are causing you to be distracted, tempted, and just overall pulled away from that dharma. You are dissolving karmas. You are ascending your consciousness to the higher realms while practicing celibacy. Again, forget about the benefits. Forget about the aura. Forget about the attraction. This is what you're really doing it for. If you're a true spiritual aspirant. And I'm guessing that you are. If you made it this far into the video, I'm guessing that you are. Because not only will a regular general person not even click on this video, but they ain't making it this far, 30 minutes in. Most people can't listen to a video for 30 minutes long, regardless of what it's about. But if you're listening about this depth and this dense, detailed content that's gonna help you actually ascend your consciousness, then I'm telling you, I've always said this before, the people that watch this channel, in specific the second channel, what the Fulati, we're out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games. You dig what the fuck I'm saying? No cuts, no edits, just straight up speaking off the dome. You guys are more psychologically and spiritually matured than the masses. Maybe it's due to past lives, maybe it's due to some of the karmas that you've dissolved in this life, but now you have the ability to grasp these deeper level concepts. This stuff that would normally go over people's heads, you are able to actually grasp. It's making sense to you. You are understanding it, but you are still not being able to understand it. If you're somebody that's just listening to this content, reading ancient texts, and just taking any action. In the self-help community, they call people who watch video after video after video, read book after book after book, self-improvement mental masturbators. While I'm talking to you, you're a spiritual masturbator. If you just listen to all this content, yet still remain stuck in lust, yet still remain stuck in your lower centers. Because these are the tools that you must apply into your life to actually see that ascension that I'm talking about actually occur. It's one thing for it to be knowledge that, oh man, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, bro, totally makes sense. I definitely agree with what you're saying, but it's one thing for that knowledge to be up in your mind, and another thing for that knowledge to be turned into gnosis, aka knowledge of the mind is transferred into first-hand experience of the heart. That's a totally different thing. That's when you go from understanding to understanding. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Let that marinate in your motherfucking mind. Let that sink into your psyche. If you're someone who's just still teetering, tottering, oh man, should I practice celibacy? Should I do this? Should I do that? You need to take that step, that first step up this ascending path towards self-mastery. It's not going to be easy. It's not something that just happens overnight. But in order for you to cleanse those karmas, purify yourself from within, and discover your dharma, you must be willing to sacrifice the BS that is keeping you stuck as a slave to your senses, that's keeping your soul encapsulated in the abyss. I'm guessing you are willing to do that. Because again, the people that are watching this channel, you guys are more matured and advanced. You wouldn't be listening to this song. I'm not saying that you're a chosen one. I'm not saying that you're special than anyone. This is not a new age spiritual channel. Fuck all that bullshit. You already know I ain't with that gay nonsense. You know what I mean? That ain't what I do here. This ain't some shit that, oh man, if you practice human retention, you become a chosen one. Oh man, if you do this, you just become blah, blah, blah. No. You're doing this to cleanse your karma and purify yourself from within so you can view your dharma. Right now, it's cloudy up here in Cali, but the sun is still there. I can see it, and I felt it. You probably saw it a couple times throughout this video, but all those clouds are covering it up. Does that mean the sun is not there? Nope. The sun is that little spark that I told you that's within you, that divine spark that contains your dharma, that contains your true self. However, that darkness that's covering it up is your karma. It's like this darkness of the clouds covering up the sun. As the clouds start to dissipate, the sun starts to illuminate. God damn, let me say that again. And when the clouds and karmas start to dissipate, the sun, your true self, starts to illuminate. And that's the guiding path. That's the lantern. That's the internal lantern that will lead you to glory, that will lead you to liberation. This is why celibacy has been talked about so highly and revered by the true holy men who have walked on this earth. This is not some self-improvement fad. This is not some No Nut November bullshit. This is a way to break you free from spiritual slavery. And again, this is not an easy path. But look, if you have not tapped into the Art of Retention ebook yet, you're missing out. You're missing out on the private Patreon community. You're missing out on the Art of Retention ebook. You're missing out on the coaching program, consultations. What the fuck are you doing, my guy? What are you doing? Go right now on the YouTube search bar and type in how to succeed on semen retention. You'll find a full video guide on the main channel, The Philosopher. For the people that know that we already changed from Flight of Fitness to The Philosopher, you already know, but if you didn't know, now you know. Go on that channel, watch that video, and within that video, you get access to the free, yes, totally free ebook that goes much more in depth and much more in detail than even the video does about all the practices, all the techniques, all the tools you need to succeed on this practice of celibacy. How to actually use it as a tool it was intended to be, rather than this fucking new age trend and fashion for self-improvement. I'm going right down to the ancient roots of this practice of retention, of celibacy, to help you, again, what I was saying, help you break free from spiritual slavery. And look, if you're dyslexic, you're retarded, you got ADHD, you can't motherfucking read, your boy's got you covered with a full audio series of the Art of Retention ebook. Again, on the main channel, just go on The Philosopher, go on the main channel, go on playlist, and find right there the audio series of the Art of Retention ebook right there for you. Pop it in while you're driving, pop it in while you're working, pop it in while you're walking. Get up on some motherfucking game and apply this stuff so you ain't out here looking like a motherfucking lame. You dig what I'm saying? Stop listening to this content and not applying it. Those videos help you apply it. And again, if you need any more further guidance, further help, further support on this journey as a true spiritual aspirant on this narrow road to self-realization through the path of self-mastery, then tap in with the services that I mentioned before, man. Hop into the Philosopher Circle. Get more information, more in-depth stuff on the exclusive videos on the Patreon. Most importantly, hop into our private group chat. We can talk about these things. Hop into our next Mastermind Live call. We can talk about these things. If you're ready to take it to a whole nother level and actually get a full-ass system to help you streamline this process towards self-realization, towards self-mastery, shoot me an application form for the personalized coaching program. We'll see if your criteria meets the qualifications. Book a one-on-one consultation call, all that stuff, man. This is here for the true spiritual aspirants, the people that truly want to break free from the cycle of spiritual slavery and understand who and what they are beyond just satisfying the senses, beyond just the lower level pleasures. They want to know, they want to discover, and they want to live in alignment to their Dharma. This is the channel, this is the place, this is the overall ecosystem for you to succeed. I can assure you that. But again, before we end things off, this is what this practice of celibacy is all about. I want you to throw away everything that you've listened to other people and listen to the ancient wisdom. It's not made for me. I'm just a messenger of this message that's been given to us by the holy man. I'm just here applying it and showing you how it's done and helping you streamline the process. I wish I knew about this stuff quicker. I wish I knew about this stuff sooner. So don't waste your time. Don't waste this incarnation on temptations. Use this incarnation for spiritual liberation. It's been your boy out here in the field, in the flesh, dropping y'all that game so you guys can make these games. I'm out of here. Peace.